Earth Day, friends. This is Miss Jackie from the Waco McLennan County Public Library, and we're here for a special Earth Day craft, which is all about upcycling and using things that we already have. I even wore my special vegetable shirt. So because I love to garden. I don't know if any of you do too, but I think it's definitely something fun to do outdoors. Now, one of the things that we have at the library is tons and tons of books. What happens with books that are well loved is they get a little rough around the edges. Sometimes we can also take our books and recycle them and make something else. Now, this is something we would never, ever do to a library book. So as you can see, this book, it's a little older and maybe isn't in the best of shape anymore. So here at the library, we thought, well, this is a great book. We're just going to buy a new copy. But what happens to the old copy? Well, in this case for Earth Day, we can turn it into our very own treasure box. It can be a secret treasure box that we keep on our bookshelf and nobody but us would know what's inside. So all you would need for this fun craft is maybe an old book, a tin or a little box, some glue, ruler, scissors, pen or pencil, and maybe something to decorate your box with, stickers, or in my case, I used washi tape. So this is just a quick show of the little cheat sheet we made of what you would need and how to do this craft. And the link for that's going to be with the post. But let me just show you what we can do. So with our book, we open it up and we can see our little treasure tin right here. And what I used was basically just an old box of mints that I took some tape, just like this, and taped over the outside. Like I said, you can cover it with stickers, gift wrap, tissue, anything you want. Maybe, depending on what your box is made out of, you can even paint it. But you can make it your very own. So, what's the easiest way to carve out our little space in here? Well, what I did was I took a book, much like this one here, and opened up to the cover page. Then I take the box that I've chosen and I just make sure that it's going to fit down in. And I'll kind of tilt that for you here. And you can see that once all the pages would be cut out in that rectangle shape, then it's going to sit in there nicely so that this folds flat. If your tin is too tall for your book, it may stay open like this just a little bit. So that's one thing to keep in mind as you pick your supplies and what you have around the house. So when you have your tin picked out, you just want to put it right here in the center. And then you can get your pen and your pencil. And I used a ruler just to help keep things straight. The other thing I did was, instead of just tracing around the exact size of the box, I kind of went a little outside, just like this. Now, this is kind of the hard part where we definitely want to use our patience. We may even have to have our grown-up help us a little bit with some of this. You can use an X-Acto knife like this, but it tends not to be the safest, so I would only recommend this for our much older crafters. So for us, we can use just a regular pair of scissors. And how we can get this to work for us is we just simply take the first page here of our book, kind of fold it in like this, making sure that it's nice and straight. This is why it's also a good idea to put this right in the center. And then we just take our scissors and we'll just cut out this first page like this. Down the straight line. There we go. Now once we have our basic shape, we can just continue doing the exact same thing. We can just trace and fold and trace and fold. And you could probably even cut more than one sheet at a time. For me to go all the way to the bottom, I would say it probably took me about 15 minutes or so. So that's why we need to have a little patience, but it doesn't really take too long to do it. And then once we're all set, we can just decorate this. Now, one thing that I also found worked really well, and my last little trick, is once you cut pages, as you know, they're all going to be loose. Right now, just like a normal book, our pages are like this. That may not maybe make the most stable of treasure boxes. So what I did was I glued this. So I took the last page of the book here, and then I used a sponge brush and some glue and painted all the way around here with my glue. And then I made sure to press that down. And then with the inner square that I had cut out here, I took glue and I just dabbed it all through here, making sure I had a nice coat of glue all around the sides. So this way, it all stays together. And I let that dry overnight. One thing I did do as well is when I smooshed it down like this, I made sure that none of the glue was up here around the top, and I weighted it down with some other books. That gives it a nice press so that all of those pages that we've glued stick together so they don't come apart on us. And once you have that dried overnight, your treasure box is all set to go. So you put that on your shelf and no one would know what you have inside. So I hope you've enjoyed learning a little bit about how to make your own treasure box and even what happens to some of our older books here at the library that have become well-loved favorites for you and your family and everyone else that comes to the library. We encourage you to definitely check out books, use our curbside service, as well as subscribe and watch craft videos and storytime videos and all the things that we offer here at the library. Can't wait to see you guys next time. Happy Earth Day, friends. Bye now.